if you're skinny and you can't put on muscle, you struggle to eat, you're tired of that scale not moving up, and you're just tired of being small and feeling small, this video is for you because this is where I started. Alright, what is going on, you guys? This video is long awaited. This is going to be my ultimate guide on how to get jacked. Now, this is going to be the most in-depth video I've done to date on this subject. Now, a quick disclaimer before we start. I am by no means a professional. I have no certifications. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a coach. I'm not any of these things. This is just what worked for me and how I did it. So if it works for you, great. If not, don't take my advice as official by any means. Like I said, not a trainer, not a doctor. I don't pretend to be. This is just what worked for me. So let's dive right into this. It's going to be broken up into 3 different parts, 3 different sections. I'm going to give you an overview of the 3 points, and then I'm going to break each one down individually, and then we'll finish up with some concluding thoughts and ideas. So if you're skinny and you can't put on muscle, you struggle to eat, you're tired of that scale not moving up, and you're just tired of being small and feeling small, this video is for you because this is where I started, right here. 138 pounds. Well, this video was taken 3-4 weeks of lifting, so I was about 130 pounds when I started. Now, I was always an athletic kid, so I always played sports growing up. I was always lean, but I was still small. So this is where I started. Now, in 3 years, this is where I am now. As you can see, huge difference. Now, why should you listen to me? Because I have done it, right? There may be other professionals out there who know the science and the biology behind it and all this stuff, but I have actually done it, so clearly I know how. So this is my 3-year transformation. Now, where to start? So this is going to be the 3 points simplified, right? Here's how you're going to do it. You're going to train. What training does, the purpose that serves, is it's to stimulate the growth process, right? You're basically saying, hey, muscles, you need to get bigger and you need to grow. Diet. Now, diet is going to be giving your body the correct building materials to turn into muscle, right? So let's use a house analogy as an example. You want to build the house. So you tell a crew of guys, here's the plan, let's build this house, right? So that's training. Now, step 2, diet. You need to give your body the correct building materials to do that. So you need to give these guys the right building materials to build a house. If you say, hey, build me a mansion, and you give them 2 pieces of wood, a case of beer, and a pack of Marlboro cigarettes, there's not much they can do. So you need to give your body the correct building materials in order to grow. I don't care how hard you train, if you do not recover and give your body the correct tools to grow and build, you won't get bigger. It's impossible. The laws of physics, it's just not possible. So step 3, recovery. So once you've told your muscles to grow, you've given them the stuff they need to grow, you need to allow time. You need to allow your muscles to build back up stronger and bigger and better. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a long process. It just takes time. That's all there is to it. So that's the 3 keys simplified. Now let's get into each one individually. So training. A couple little points when it comes to training, right? Technique is key. You need to just drop the ego, leave it at the door. And I know people say this, but I'm going to explain why. Slow and controlled, deep stretch. Like I said, drop the ego. The weight does not matter when you're optimizing for muscle growth in the way you think it does. If you want to bench 3 plates and you want to be a powerlifter and that's your goal, great, go all for it. Weight does matter. But for me, weight never mattered. I just trained for aesthetics and building muscle. So weight does not matter in that way. Now, this training thing, right? How much are we supposed to do it? Well, about 2 times per week per muscle group on average. Like I said, I'm not a professional. All this stuff is averages. Yes, there's exceptions, and yes, around the averages work. You know, if you do 3 sets per week per muscle, is it still going to work? Yeah. If you do 1 set per week per muscle, is it still going to work? Probably, but on average, this is what we're looking to do. 2 sets per week per muscle. Now, okay, Dylan, how many sets per workout per muscle? Right? So let's say you're hitting chest. How many sets should I be doing? So I'm doing chest twice a week. how many sets of chest should I be doing each workout? I do 5 to 8. That's what I recommend. Around 5 to 8 is the sweet spot for me, and it is for a lot of other people. Now, one of the biggest, most important things when it comes to training, now not so much as a beginner, you can just train and you're just going to train, eat, and you'll get big no matter what as a beginner, right? For the first year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. But as you get further and further in, you need to start incorporating progressive overload. Now, what is this? Well, you need to go up and up and up in training stimulation. So whether that's through reps or weight, either one of those metrics are perfectly fine. And the reason we use reps or weight is because it's trackable, right? We can see and log each week what we're doing. So every other session, you want to look to add about 2.5 to 5 pounds or a rep. So you hit chest, you bench 135 for 8. Next workout, you bench 135 for 8 again. Next workout, you hit chest, 135, go for 9. Or throw on 2.5 pounds and try to get 8 again, right? And if you do that over time, you will be growing. So another key tip, log your workouts. Log your weight and take monthly pictures. You'll thank me later. In the beginning, it doesn't seem like much. You're not noticing many results, but take pictures in the beginning, man. Trust me. I wouldn't be able to make these videos and have pictures of myself as a beginner if I didn't take them. So it may sound stupid and you may not be fond of your body or how you look right now, but just take progress pictures. Even if it's once a month, take a progress picture. Track your weight. Log your workouts. And finally, patience is key, right? Like we said in the beginning, this stuff doesn't happen overnight, right? We're building muscle. It takes time. There's no way around it. There's things you can do to make it better and speed up recovery and speed up the growth process, but in the end, it just takes time. There's no shortcuts. Now, things not to do when it comes to training. So, not training hard enough, right? So I'm going to tell you a story about this guy I see in my gym. I've been going to the same gym for 3 years. I've worked out with this guy for 3 years, right? You saw my transformation. I got a lot bigger. This guy looks the exact same as he did 3 years ago. So the other day I'm in the gym and I'm like, man, this guy just can't seem to grow. Every time I see him, months later, years later, he's the same person. So he comes up to me and he's like, man, I just can't get big. I can't grow. You know, I'm training so hard. I'm eating like 10,000 calories a day. I just can't grow. I'm like, hold on. Let's start with the basics. Let me just watch your set, right? He goes over to the shoulder press, loads up his weight, 8, 9, 10. I'm like, okay, cool, bro. Is that your warm-up? He's like, no, it's my working set. I do 3 of those. I'm like, got it. Okay, that's your working set. All right, well, here's one of the problems, right? You've been training for 3 years, and that's the intensity you're at. That is how hard you push. Just 8, 9, 10. You just count how many reps, and that's it. You just drop it. Well, you're not training hard enough, in my opinion. So we fixed that, and sure enough, guess what happened? The guy said, I started training harder, and I started being able to add more weight, and I see my shoulders getting bigger. I'm like, I told you, it's not rocket science, right? So train hard enough, right? You want to be going to or close to failure. And obviously, like I said, intensity has to increase as you get better and as you spend more time in the gym. As a beginner, you can go in and any stimulation is going to be more than you're used to, so you're going to grow from that. And another mistake is overtraining, right? So you have this guy on one end of the spectrum, then you have the guy who's overtraining. Bro, how many times are you in the gym? Oh, I'm in here every day, 4 hours a day. Okay. How many sets do you do per workout? I don't even know. I do like 25 or more sets per workout for my biceps. And then I go to the next one. I spend an hour on tricep. Whoa. Slow down. You're training that hard. Are you even recovering? Like, you cannot train that hard and recover the next day and hit the same full body worth the same stuff again. I don't believe you can do that. So make sure you're training hard enough and don't overtrain. general rule of thumb to know if you're overtraining, are your muscles sore when you're hitting that same muscle group again, right? Let's say you hit biceps, 3 days later you hit biceps again. If your biceps are pretty sore and you're getting a little tweak and a little twinge in there and they're sore, I wouldn't hit biceps again, because if they're sore, they're probably not recovered enough from the last workout. So give them a little bit more time. Now, 2, diet. So we've covered training a little bit, and now let's break down the diet, right? So diet, you need to eat. You need to give your body the correct building materials to get bigger. The laws, like I said, I'm not a scientist, but the laws of thermodynamics are pretty simple, right? If you do not give your body, let's say it burns 2,000 calories a day, and you give it 1,500 a day. You need 2,000 a day, you consume 1,500. You have a 500 calorie deficit. So how do you expect to build on additional tissue if you're burning more fuel than you're consuming, right? So I recommend a slight caloric surplus and protein intake of 1 gram per pound. Like I said, rough numbers. About, you eat 2 grams per pound of body weight, okay, you're probably going to do all right. You eat 0.7 per pound of body weight, you're probably going to be all right. So slight caloric surplus, try to get around 1 gram per pound, and as healthy as you can. Now, some people are complete health nuts, and some people just macros are macros. I eat whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just macros, bro, as long as you eat your protein. I'm somewhere in the middle, right? I eat as healthy as I can, but I don't stress about it because, one, I'm still young. My metabolism is still high. I train all the time. I train for fighting as well, so I'm constantly. But the benefits, right, to eating healthy. So my argument for the macros are macros guy is that's great and all, and you're correct in a way, but certain things are easier for your body to digest and easier on your system, and certain things like processed sugar and junk food is going to be rougher on your system to digest and break down. So that matters when you start eating a lot of food, right? It's going to be easier for your body to digest fruit and chicken and rice. It's going to make you feel better than to eat bags of Cheetos, even if macros are just macros. So right now I'm around 80%, right? I try to eat healthy. Most of my meals are good. But at the end of the day, if I need to sneak in another 700-800 calories and I've already had 6 or 7 meals and I just can't get another meal in, I'll grab a shake. I'll throw whole milk, peanut butter, oats, banana, a little bit of olive oil, and now you're at a 700 calorie shake. Boom. Or if I'm out and about and I've had most meals healthy and I need an extra couple hundred calories, I'll grab a Wawa milkshake and there's 800 calories. Like, it isn't an exact science, right? You want to try to stay consistent over a long period of time with rough averages. So one day isn't going to kill you, but over a year, right? Think about it on a yearly basis. You want to be consistent and average with all your stuff. Now, recovery. So step 3. You've trained, you've given your body the correct fuel. Now it's time for your body to do its work. So now your body's going to take that training stimulus and that food to say, okay, we need to get bigger. Here's the stuff to do it. Let's repair, let's rebuild, let's build our muscles bigger and stronger for next time. So a couple things for recovery, right? You want to try to minimize stress. The best thing you can do after a workout is just go home, go eat some dinner, sit, relax, chill out, minimize your stress. Now, like I said, I don't know 100% about this topic, but I know there are stress hormones like cortisol and things like that do interact with your body and your recovery in negative ways. So try to sleep 8 hours a night. Maybe 7 hours is good for you. Maybe 9-10 hours is good for you. Around 8 hours a night is the general consensus, right? So I'm 7.5 hours, right? If I get 8 hours of sleep, I feel groggy when I wake up. If I get 7, I feel groggy later in the day. But if I get 7.5, it's just the perfect balance for me. So find what works for you. Try to get around 8 hours a night. Like I said, if you get one bad night's sleep in a month, you don't have to wig out about it. It's not going to kill your gains. Over time, you want to average roughly that amount. So like I said, life happens, but we're going for consistent averages over time. Now, if you are not 100% recovered, it's probably not a good idea to hit that muscle again, like we talked about in the training. If your chest is still sore and it still hurts to move, don't train your chest. Give it a little bit of time. Now, we're going to sum this up with the uncontrollable factors, right? Here are things that you cannot control. You can't control your hormones. So certain people are just born with more testosterone or more estrogen, whatever the case. Like I said, I'm not a biologist or whatever they are. But everybody has different hormones. So you can't change that. Do the best you can to get sunlight, sleep, exercise, eat healthy, and you can optimize more for that. But genetics are a thing. So genetics, hormones, you're born with it. Now, enhanced versus natural, this is another big thing. Somebody who takes performance-enhancing drugs and anabolic steroids obviously are going to have more hormones to help them build, repair, and grow. You can't change that either. Time. Another thing, you just can't change it. There's no shortcuts, right? If you compare yourself to somebody that's been lifting in the gym for 6 years, enhanced, you're just going to be beating yourself up, man. They've been doing it for 6 years with performance-enhancing drugs and anabolic steroids. Like, you can't compare yourself to that person. So you cannot compare your genetics to other people. You cannot compare time. It just takes time. Some people are born with better genetics. There's nothing you can do about it. So that is my growth guide. With these concepts and these things, I've been able to go from 130 pounds to right now I'm sitting around 195. So, alright guys, that concludes our video. If you liked it, if you found it helpful, drop a comment down below. Tell me things I should change, your thoughts, your opinions, what you've been struggling with. If this guide has helped you at all, appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell, all that good stuff. I will see you guys later.